a lot of people do not see the background work to how everything that happens affects everyone financially. I think even in the mortgage market, a lot of people thinking of buying houses, getting their dream house and so on and so forth. There's a lot of people that don't have a will.
Wow.
Right? They don't have a will in place, right? And I'm not going to deep dive into it. I'm looking at the time, but that's something else that you need to understand. Why do I need to get a will in place? Why do I need to have life insurance in place?
Because every time we think of adding something new, especially like life cover or all these types of things, we see it as a loss at first. We see it, depending on how our mindset is, we see it as a loss. Oh, I don't want to do that because I'm going to be, but no, it's actually peace of mind. And if we get all the gaps filled, like for example, like now after I spoke to you, like I don't even worry about what's going on in the month. That's become like, I see that, I'm like, we're still good. That's right, guys, we're gonna have a good day today. This is your breakfast show. Gosh, it's so good to be here, and I hope you've been enjoying the breakfast show vibe today. It's Tuesday here on your breakfast show, and it's the pursuit of success, the day of the week where we look at tools, tips, and ideas in order to take that next step to achieve our definition of success. And helping me with the sound this morning to present these wonderful ideas, we have the man in sound himself. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Oh yeah. Can you feel the wind and the thunder? Because there is only one. It's Colossus. Good morning to you, dude.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, how we feeling today, warrior?
We are feeling good, yes.
Yes. You look really prepared today, dude.
I am.
Yeah. Was you well rested?
I had time enough to prepare myself. I'm joking, man.
Did you have a good rest?
Yes, I did.
How many hours sleep did you have? Because we always worry about you and your sleep, because being up there in Olympus, the times, for time and everything like that might be a bit different.
Maybe 6 hours.
6 hours, okay. I bet you've been doing pretty good recently, right? Yeah.
I could do better, but the thing is, I don't like to sleep early. I don't know why.
Too many things to do.
Actually, no. But
Olympus life, right? Just under the tree and a hammock.
Because I know I have to sleep early, but the thing is,
I think we all have that. We all have that challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, but we'll get there,
yes.
Right? And so you're locked and loaded for today?
Yes.
Fantastic. And guys, I hope you are prepared today, because today's theme is all gonna be about putting our finances in order. All right, putting our finances in order, and we're looking at financial resilience in uncertain times. As you know, we're in a time frame where there's lots of things happening in the world. We got wars, rumors of wars, right? We've had a couple of years ago where everybody was locked down in their houses, right, all over the globe. Lots of different things have been happening, and one of the things that have taken a hit for a lot of people is their finances. Even before these issues came up, there was always that challenge with people and their finances. I don't know if you're aware of this, but basically 24% of UK adults, about 13.1 million, this is just the UK, we're not even talking about the globe, right? 13.1 million people had low financial resilience in 2024. So that means whatever happening was happening financially was directly affecting people. Emergency cover, 4.6 million adults could only cover living costs for up to 1 week if their main household income stopped. So that means there's no protection, there's no giving way there. Savings gap, 11.1 million working age adults on low to modest incomes do not save regularly. All right, and then here's another one, just one last one. BNPL, buy now pay later pressure. Buy now pay later use is especially high among lone parents, women aged 25 to 34, and black adults. It's very, very interesting. So there's a lot happening in the financial spectrum, and today, by the end of the show, listeners should understand how to build a stronger financial base. Not just how to make more money, but how to manage it wisely. Okay, protect it and stay steady in uncertain times. So our main angle today is money resilience is going to be about. We're going to cover budgeting. I know many of you hear that word budgeting so often, especially because of social media. We're going to be talking about emergency planning, protection, emotional discipline, and I think that's a huge one there. Emotional emotional discipline. The baton we receive. All right. And making calmer decisions under pressure. Guys, guess who's with us today on our Pursuit of Success Tuesday? It's the one and only Mr. Ahmed. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Dude, you have so much presence. I was like not unsure if it was the morning or the afternoon, because I think with two powerful guys like you and Colossus in the room, like, is it morning or afternoon? Is it morning or afternoon? But it's great to have you here, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how was it getting here today?
Do you know what? We were speaking just before we came on. The traffic in London in the morning. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't end, isn't it?
Crazy,
it doesn't end.
crazy.
So look, we're going to be going into it today. The reason why is because we are in uncertain times somewhat. This time of the year, I don't know when you're watching this program, guys, but there's a lot of uncertainty because of what's happening in the global political hemisphere, as one would say, and pretty much surviving things like the lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, and excess printing of money and all those kind of decisions that took place, and it's really eating people up. It's really eating people up, and I think you've been seeing that a lot of that, right?
100%. And I think sometimes a lot of people do not see the background work to how everything that happens affects everyone financially. I think even in the mortgage market, a lot of people thinking of buying houses, getting their dream house and so on and so forth. The war and everything happening in the world, you might say, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you, because the wars, the rumors of wars affects everything. Mortgage rates were at one point, but now it's gone all the way up. Bills, everyone to get petrol the other day, you can see the impact. It affects every single person in some capacity. So yeah,
and I'm glad you're talking about that, because a lot of people think that what happens around them has nothing to do with them. That's a very strong point that you just made.
100%.
It's like, oh yeah, I don't bother with the news or whatever, and a lot of people are unprepared. These things are happening in front of our face, and we're seeing it as theater. It's their problem.
100%.
But it's actually coming right into our homes and into our bank accounts.
100%. And it trickles down. It trickles down to the everyday person. And, for example, I was in Hackney, because I actually grew up in Hackney area before I moved to South London. I had a talk the other day, and I was speaking to people about inflation and how that works. Do you remember the Freddo chocolate bars?
Which one?
Freddo. The Freddo chocolate, 25p.
Yes!
5p, yeah.
Yes.
I went into the store the other day. Guess how much it was?
I'm going to be...
80p.
No!
For a Freddo chocolate bar.
All right, I need to get a picture of this. I know, I need to get nostalgia running.
Crazy.
Freddo, Fredel, F-E-D-E-L.
I think it's F-R-E-D-O.
F-R-D-E-L. Chocolate, yeah? All right, let me see. Let's get some... You mean not Ferrero Rocher, isn't it? No, there was another one. Because I know there was Chomp, right? Yeah. There was a Chomp, and it was like 15p, right? And then you had the other one that was like 10p. And now that you're saying this, actually, you're absolutely right. I went into like a Tesco store just the other day. That's it. Okay, Freddo. I always called that Chomp for some reason.
Maybe you're saying the same thing. Yeah.
I need to change my life. All right, let me change my life tomorrow. All right, Freddo. Okay, let me send this over to Colossus. Hang on a second. All right, guys. So you use that example.
It's actually 95p, isn't it?
Get out of it.
And that's inflation for you.
That's inflation for you, dude. What? So wait. So that's what inflation looks like, right? So when we hear this inflation, what that means is something that we're accustomed to paying for an item, it's now a lot more.
100%, because of the price and cost of goods and services is always going to increase on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes things like wars, things like, the lack of oil, petrol affects these things as well. But sometimes we don't look at the news. We just go to the store and we see that butter is not £2 anymore, it's £7. so that's how that works.
I think the biggest one for me was the eggs. The eggs, the reason why, because on the breakfast show we have a Wellness Wednesday, and we learn about the health benefits of eggs. Eggs are nutrient dense. If you want to survive on something, survive on eggs, right? And because of that, I was buying eggs. Man, as soon as things started happening around the world, I'm paying like double the price.
100%.
For 6 eggs.
100%.
Even Lidl couldn't resist the temptation to increase their prices.
That's how it goes.
So that's the look of inflation. So in terms of what you do, because you're a financial protection specialist, yeah? What does that involve?
Yeah, so in simple terms, a financial protection specialist helps people work towards protect what they have while they work to build for the future. So I specialize in financial protection, but I'm a financial advisor. So I help clients holistically. Holistically meaning helping to do with everything to do with their finances. That's planning for the future, helping them grow their money and so on and so forth. So in simple terms, that's what I do. We help people create a plan and be proactive towards that plan for the future.
Okay, so it's not just about making money, yeah?
It's protecting it as well.
Okay, fantastic. And what made you decide to go into this field of work?
I think it's because of the lack of education. I think, interestingly enough, you know, the journey into financial services started very interesting. I remember in the church, we did a purpose at one time, and the faith was for us to go and do something we've never done before. Yeah, I love that. And I remember going to Hyde Park. We went to sell water and try to raise money. I think the challenge was for us to make £1,000 in that month. Wow. We went out, we did it, and I was like, oh my goodness, look how easy it is for us to go out and speak to people. Very true. And people actually gave. And because we were young at the time, a lot of people looked at us and be like, okay, they're young, they're doing something different. So we said, okay.
So this is from the church youth group?
From the church youth group. Wow. Yeah. And then because of what we did, we said, okay, where are the richest people in the world? And we looked on Google and we saw the Gherkin in central London. Okay, the richest people are there. So then we went to the Gherkin. I went in my stepdad's suit, actually. You could tell it wasn't my suit. And then we went and we started to speak to people. And then we saw a financial advisor at that time, took a liking to us, and that's how we got into financial services.
Wow. That's really interesting. So it's fascinating how, like, opportunities that are around us, for example, like in your case, the church youth group, brought a challenge where you had to kind of think out of your normal method of thinking. Because usually if we're a teenager or whatever and we're at a young age, it's usually school, home, play, or go to work, right? But this opportunity in this youth group brought you to do something to raise capital. That got your mind thinking a different way. Then that spanned onto something else, and 100%. That's where a great opportunity came from.
100%. And I think the key thing is curiosity and asking the questions. A lot of people do not see what's available to them because they're not curious to ask. They're not curious to know. And I think, you know, in financial services, it's a very hidden industry because the government and a lot of these institutions, they do not want you to know certain things because it's of profit to them. Yeah. Right? It's there, but if you don't research it, it won't work to your advantage, if that makes sense.
So what you're saying to me and our listeners today is that if you want to see something, because everybody dreams of having something substantial, having a good, controlled quality of life. But what you're saying is it's right there in our faces. But if we're lazy to pursue it, if we're lazy to learn more, if we're lazy to inspect, we will just continue complaining about the problems.
Correct. And the best way for you to know that you're in that zone and you're in that box is seeing if you are reactive or proactive. Because when you're not thinking about these things or anticipating these things or aware about these things, you become very reactive. Okay. You wait for things to happen and then you react to it.
Yeah, and then you're already on the back foot.
100%. But when you're proactive, you anticipate these things. And that's the difference between those that have the financial freedom, quote unquote, that a lot of people speak about in comparison to those that don't. Because to get to that point, you're proactive, you're planning ahead rather than reacting to what life is bringing to you.
Love it. All right, guys, so definitely you're going to be helping to give us some tools, thoughts and ideas to become proactive, right? Proactive?
100%.
Yeah, instead of reactive. I just want to show you, we've got the Freddo bar that Ahmed was talking about. Have a look at this. So this little bar, this is it's smaller than the size of my hand, used to be I think 10, 15p.
Yeah. 10p. It's actually 5p at one point.
5p at one point. And I'm older than him, right? So
correct,
that means that it wasn't even that long ago, right? And now it's how much?
So for 80p.
80p. That now, guys, think about that. Imagine you got paid, right? And supposing you had you gave yourself £10 in a week to consume sugar. Would 5p to 80p make a difference in that week? Especially if you're addicted to chocolate. So imagine this across the board in all those other things. That's like what? That's like a 500 or something % increase.
100%.
What?
100%.
We gotta take control.
And it happens without you noticing. But then there are systems in place that allows you to beat inflation. There are things in place that allows you to make sure that the game is not beating you and you're beating the game. But that comes with being proactive and having the conversations, understanding financial resilience, and knowing that, okay, I know something might happen, but I'm ready for it. Okay.
We got some comments here in the live chat. So we have here Fran saying, good morning, Mimi. We got Mimi, okay, blah, blah, blah. We've got Anisha. Is that Anisha? Yep, Anisha, love to know where you're from, saying good morning. We've got Just Irene is joining us. Well, great to have you with us, Just Irene, saying good morning, BSF. A very blessed morning to all the family, and that's from Ethel, guys. Yep, so if you've got any questions for Ahmed as well, please feel free to pose them in the live chat, okay? But just before we go to our timeout, I just want to present another interesting thought, all right? Let's go to our next timeout. And it says here, these are some of the challenges. This is why some people fail and they struggle when it comes to finances, right? And let's see if we fit into any of those categories. Let's see how many. So the first one is many people were never taught how money really works. A large share of we're using UK as an example now, we're not even going to talk about the world. A large share of the UK adults say they don't feel confident managing money, budgeting, or understanding interest and credit. It's similar to what you just said. And surveys consistently show the UK performs poorly on the financial literacy compared with similar countries.
Correct. And it's deep rooted, isn't it? It's deep rooted because if you look at a lot of families and core structures of how some families operate, they don't talk about money.
No.
And the only time they talk about money is if they're reactive. If someone passes away, if it's time to plan a wedding, it's always something that catches you off guard or something that you don't expect to happen. And because of that, we also go into schools. Schools don't talk about money. They don't educate you about financial literacy. And then what happens is when people go into employment, they have so much money that they've not seen before. It's subjective, right? And money becomes like hot potatoes. It's like it comes and it goes. And then you start to emotionally spend. You start to say, I can afford this, I can do this, I can do that. And then before you know it, you're having to react.
That's so true.
Because it goes. And then you're like, what do I need to do?
Because I remember when I was working, I was 16. And at 16, that is a great time to start developing wealth. 16.
100%.
Beautiful. More freedom, more independence, education. But I remember when I got that money, I remember looking at my bank account and being like, ooh, that was a lot but that's a good result. And the first thing I thought was to go and buy clothes. But if I knew what I know now, I would have invested in the S&P 500.
100%.
So this is financial literacy.
Yeah. Now think about how many people are now looking back saying, how I wish I knew what I knew now, then. But then there were individuals then that knew what they knew, and because they were proactive, you're looking from, let's say, 5-10 years looking back saying, I wish I did that. But those people in that moment were planning 10 years in advance, and being where they are a lot better in comparison to a lot of other individuals that didn't understand how money worked. And sometimes you look at these individuals and you're like, wow, how did you get here? Like, it looks so great, but it didn't happen overnight. It's the importance of planning ahead and making sure you put things in place.
So time,
100%.
Time can work in our favor. So that's interesting. And even when you're saying this, there might be a listener who says, "Oh no, I've missed the boats."
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Just like the right time was then, the right time is also now.
100%.
Very strong. All right, then it goes like this. Some of the things that people struggle with: little or no emergency savings. Millions of adults have less than £1,000 saved, and some have no savings at all. So even a £300 to £500 unexpected bill can push them straight into overdrafts.
Crazy.
Hey! Dependence on credit and buy now, pay later. That's a big issue. Then we have income shocks like job loss or reduced hours, a sudden loss of income, illness. This is what also triggers serious debt as well, because like you said, they're unprepared. Poor budgeting and lack of planning. Like you said, lifestyle creeps, holidays, and car finance debt often builds gradually through non-essential spending.
That is such a big one. Lifestyle creep is such a big one. And social media does not help, because sometimes a lot of people look at other people's lives and see what they have and, I need to get this. But you don't know if the car's a rental. You don't know if what their bank statement's looking like. So yeah, lifestyle creep is a big one.
Then we have major life events and relationship breakdown. Bereavement, divorce, or separation could suddenly increase costs, running two homes, legal fees. These are realities that can happen in life as well, right? Have you come across that quite a few times?
This is the day-to-day of what I do. In simple terms, helping people kind of put things in place. We mostly work with high net worth individuals, but I think from my understanding, you know, of different communities and so on and so forth, it's important to give them the ability and how do I say, the exposure in simple terms, because sometimes a lot of people run away from understanding how finance and financial resilience works because they feel like, oh, it's not for me. You know, finance and financial planning is not for me. It's I'm not rich enough, quote unquote. Everyone can have some form of a plan, and it's important to have those conversations.
And the last one here, waiting too long to seek help or advice. A lot of people feel ashamed, ignore letters and calls, or hope things will sort themselves out. So small arrears, manageable debts are allowed to snowball into crisis before they speak to a charity or an advisor. That's a huge one, right? Because the problem is lack of knowledge. But even when we're starting to sink, we don't seek the knowledge. We try and do things ourselves.
100%. And I think the financial industry is a heavily regulated industry as well. It's regulated by the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority. And sometimes some people go to their friends for financial advice.
Yes.
Or they go on TikTok or Instagram for financial advice. It's always important to go to the professionals, those that are qualified and educated to give you that advice. Because, again, going back to the core structure of family and the fact that money is not talked about, generations ago, people hoard money and put it under the bed. That's
right, under the mattress.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you see, and the parents do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then now there's a banking system, so they leave it in the bank account.
Yeah.
But they don't know that you just leave it in the bank account. Inflation is eating your money.
Yeah.
So there's no planning in place, and no one's speaking to them about certain actions.
So that £1 over time became 20p.
100%
because of inflation.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going into it today, guys. It's all about creating financial resistance in uncertain times. Okay, guys? And I hope you've already started to feel tantalized by the thoughts and ideas that Ahmed is sharing with us this morning. All right, and good morning to those of you who have just been joining us. And we asked the question. We gave a morning coffee question that we posed to our listeners this morning. And we asked the question to everybody, this. What do you consider your biggest financial challenge? All right, we asked everyone, what do you consider your biggest financial challenge? A, saving, B, overspending, C, family pressure, or D, fear of checking money. And we had some very interesting responses this morning, all right, here in our Breakfast Show broadcast. And let's have a look to see what our listeners had to say. The first one chiming on in there is Diana from Mighty Boring, and she says, I'm loving today's topic. I've worked in financial services for over 10 years. My company's current brand campaign is Money Needs a Plan.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
That's a really good one. Money does need a plan.
It can't just exist, right?
100%.
Hey, helping customers and colleagues think about their money. As a benefit, we also offer all colleagues a free initial consultation with a financial advisor. Come on, if you're in Birmingham, man, just get in touch. What you just said earlier was, before the time it was right. There are things available to us, but people don't seek.
100%. And going on to what she said, I say this to clients all the time. If you don't manage your money will manage you. And if you don't know how to manage your money, speak to someone that can help. And I think that's another taboo. Some people don't feel like they should speak to someone. And some people think, okay, I know what I need to do, and let me just wing it. But that's the wrong thing to do. Yeah. If that makes sense. So yeah, I think it's important.
I remember because I started to watch your material online on social media, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking at the blue blazer. Oh yeah, handsome guy. And then we actually met, and we actually got to speak, and it was so good talking to you because, because I have a mortgage and all these things, and I have a family, you actually brought to my attention loopholes, not loopholes, but gaps. Gaps. And you actually brought to my forefront how to get the most out of like life cover and a trust and all those kind 100%. Of things I wasn't taught in school.
Can I touch on that quickly? Because while I was coming in, you were speaking about some stats. in terms of gaps, every single person has what we call a financial protection gap. Every single person. And what that basically means is the amount you need quantified to the last penny in the event of something bad happening to you. Now, we don't plan for things to happen, but there's a few factors that helps us look at what those gaps are. If you have children, right, it costs 260,000 to raise one child from the age of 0 to 18.
Father.
That's one gap, right? If you own a mortgage, whatever that amount is, yes, it eventually will be an asset, but there's a debt on that. People don't actually think about that.
That's right. It's a
if
liability.
that makes sense. 100%. If you're working, right, you get your monthly income, but people don't think, what will happen if I can't work? Believe me or not, there's a lot of people that don't even know if they have a sick pay benefit with their workplace, because what they do is they give the testimony, I just got a great job. They don't read the contract. They just sign. You ask them, what's given to you if something bad happens to you? They have no idea. So everyone has some form of a gap and loopholes that needs to be filled. And you have so much peace of mind when you know you filled your gaps, because now you're proactive. Rather than reactive, if that makes sense.
You know, when I've looked at the wealthy, and they have a spring in their step because they've got those gaps filled. You know what I mean? And the regular layman, who probably doesn't know all of these things yet, when they speak to the right people, they can have this peace of mind as well. Right?
100%.
So here we go. So thank you for that, Diana. We've also got one here from. Let's have a look here. This is Lady Jazz. Oh, thank you, brother. Let's have a listen. Check this out, guys.
Good morning, breakfast family. How are you all doing? So, the answer to the morning coffee question, I would say saving. Why I choose saving? It's not that I can't save. I can save, but I also want to be able to save and go on holiday at the same time. Because I would normally save a big amount, but then when it comes to traveling, that's when the big lump of my savings just disappear, and then I only have a little left. Then I have to kind of pick up again. So I kind of want to learn how to balance being able to travel,
you see his facial
but
expression,
also have enough to save at the same time. So yeah, that's my challenge. All right, take care. Have a good day. Bye.
I get this question all the time. You saw me smiling.
I saw you. As soon as she hit that, I saw your body expression just start to.
Yeah, because to answer that question, what a lot of people do is because we have a mindset of 0 to 100. If I'm going to save, I need to put everything away.
Yes.
Or if I'm going to splash, I'm going to splash everything.
Oh, wow.
That's not sustainable. Right? And the reason why that's not,
he said that.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
The best way to go about that is using percentages, right? Let's say whatever your bills are, what is your disposable income? Disposable income is what's left after all your bills are paid. You need to know what that is.
Okay.
And from that amount, save a percentage on a monthly basis, because it accumulates.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And speaking on this, the reason why sometimes it might be difficult for some people is because they don't know the numbers. They don't know what their outgoings are on a monthly basis, right? When they look at their bank account, I'm sure Apple, the app, Apple Store, has taken so much money from people that they have no idea about. Wow. Subscriptions, things that they're paying for, but they don't know. But those amounts, everything adds up, and that percentage helps towards saving, and you feel rewarded at the end of the day when you go on your holiday, when you go on your trip, because you strategically worked and planned towards it.
I think I love that, and you know what you said as you entered into that piece, that we are all or nothing, right? So even if a person says, okay, my disposable income, I can do £10, just do the £10, right?
100%.
It doesn't have to be, I need to go all in.
It doesn't, because it adds up. Psychologically, people think it's £10, but spend that £10 every week and see how quickly it disappears. So yeah, it adds up. It's just percentages.
And imagine that £10 going to a subscription that you don't need.
Correct.
Right, because sometimes we have subscriptions that are just, we don't even use the service. Especially now especially if you're creative or you're involved in AI and all these different apps and all these different things that we use. We have apps that we don't use, and that's a £10 saving there.
Correct. Correct. And I think what I always say to clients is this: you need to do an audit of your accounts. You need to do an audit of your bank statements and set notifications when money comes out. So sometimes you just ping, you're just spending.
Yeah.
Set notifications which will notify you when money's coming out your account, so you can see it every single time.
Yeah.
When you see that £10 go into Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever it is every month, then you realize, do I actually need this? Because you're losing money. But when you don't see it, you don't know it's gone.
Yeah, you know, Monzo's really good at that. Monzo, I love the Monzo app because there was even one time something was going. I'm like, what? Let me cancel and get my money back.
Yeah.
Seriously, I was able to catch it.
Yes.
So even like now, the apps are in a way, because before we would have to go to a bank and deal with things. But now we have apps that, like you said, we probably turn the notification off. So it's actually working against us. Oh, this notification is irritating me.
Yeah.
Because it's telling you about something that shouldn't be going up.
Correct.
Consistently.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. And I think going back to the question, the best way to mitigate that risk is putting in place a system that is sustainable. Because if you just say, let me put this money away to save, and you can't sustain it, because there's going to be life events that will happen that will lead you to having to spend the money. And the worst thing is having to go back to your savings pot and take money out. It beats the joy of knowing that money is there.
Yeah, that's right.
So just do it in small fragments.
I've done that.
Yeah.
It was painful because they had like a 1p challenge on Monzo.
Yeah, so that's a good one as well.
That's a brilliant one. But then also it got to a point where it's like, man, I'm going to use this.
Yeah.
And I ain't going to do it. And then afterwards I was like, let me just take half. They got me. They got me. So I think that shows that basically there's a lot that I need to put in order. I need to organize.
100%.
For sure.
Sustainability beats it all. Consistency is what matters.
So if someone had this sport, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who has, especially because of these times, disposable income may not be on everybody's lips.
Okay.
Right. So that means we need to actively look to see where we can increase our income.
100%. And I think the first thing before working towards increasing your income is doing a review of your expenditure, what goes out. That's the first step.
Beautiful.
Right? And it's easy for you to do that. Go into your bank account to look at your direct debits, right? What is the total amount of direct debits that I have? Go into your bank account and review your spending. How much am I spending on food?
Yeah.
That's a big one, because you just tap and tap and tap.
Yeah.
I promise you, when you see the number all together, it will blow your mind away and you become more aware of it.
Yeah.
It's the lack of awareness. When you don't manage money manages you, I promise you, because what happens is emotionally you think it's just £2.
That's right.
It's just £4. It's just £7, but it adds up.
So as it can add up in your favor if you save that £2, etc., the same thing is happening on a daily basis when we are not managing it, and those £2 are going out to other things.
Correct.
I actually have an example of this, guys. Maybe you've had this experience, or maybe you was around at the time. We had Maurice and Innes from My Money IQ come in, and we started to look at certain things, and one of the things that came up was Uber Eats.
Killer.
I'm a family of 4.
Killer.
At the time, I realized that I was spending £300 a month on Uber Eats. £300 a month. I'm like, on Uber, and afterwards I'm like, you know what? Stop all this, everyone. Guy, we're gonna make sure we're intentionally cooking.
If I gave you 3,600 right now, how would you feel?
I'd be very excited.
But that's 300 for a year. So when you look at it that way, but that's the thing. People don't think longer term, and it's a human thing. As human beings, that's just how we are. Generally, we don't look at the bigger picture naturally. We look at what's just in front of us.
Yeah.
But when we get to a point where we've been able to do it, and we start see it accumulating, that's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, I ain't even gonna go into that.
I was worse than you. At one point, I was spending like there's a month. I remember I saw £600 in Uber Eats. I don't know how I done that.
You're a single guy, right?
Married now, yeah.
I'm married now. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was crazy, but this was long time ago, and I said no, this needs to stop.
All right, so guys, first nugget there. Let's do an audit. Get the statements. I know it might be a scary thing. I know you might have heart palpitations at the idea, but we got to do it. If we want to see things improve, it has to be done. If you've done it last month, do it again. Do you think we should monthly or do audits like
all the time? All the time. And I think the best way to look at your audits is by creating a plan. So yes, of course, you need to look at what your expenditures are, but after you've done that, that's not it. Now you have your disposable income. What are you doing with it? You want to break that down into percentages, right? Maybe 10% you earmark that for financial protection, which is your protection policies, your insurance policies, because your biggest asset in actual fact is yourself.
Yes.
You alluded to something. You said something along the lines of there might be some people that don't have a huge amount in their accounts or expenditure, but they need to go out and get more income in. But the ability to get more income in stems from you being able to do that, and you're the biggest asset. And some individuals don't protect themselves. They don't have life insurance, they don't have income protection, they don't have a critical illness cover, you know. And because of my line of work, I see how it plays out. I had a client, sadly, who claimed last week literally on her critical illness cover for £85,000.
Oh wow.
Right? You know, to testimony, she's overcoming the health issue.
Thank
but
God.
imagine overcoming the health issue and also getting a lump sum amount to go with it.
Yeah.
It blesses your family, and it also glorifies the name of God because you've planned ahead.
It takes away the stress.
And takes away the stress. So that 10%. And then the other percentages, you want to break it up. Maybe you want to put a 30% away, right? And then the rest, play with it. You can do whatever. Then you can do your Uber Eats. Then you can do whatever, because you know you've managed the money. Not because the worst thing you can do is having the disposable income and saying, let's see how it goes. It's gonna go. It's gonna go.
That's interesting, because every time we think of adding something new, especially like life cover or all these types of things, we see it as a loss. At first, we see it, depending on how our mindset is, we see it as a loss. Oh, I don't want to do that because I'm going to be, but no, it's actually peace of mind. And if we get all the gaps filled, like for example, like now after I spoke to you, like I don't even worry about what's going out in the month. That's become like, I see that, I'm like, we're still good. You know, we're still good. So it really comes down to a lot of mind. We need to change our mindset and then get active in fixing
100%,
things.
because it starts in the mind. We are very hard-working individuals. With the mindset of faith, those that have faith and have an understanding of asking to receive naturally become very hard-working. So it's not necessarily receiving, right? It's protecting what you've received and doubling it, if that makes sense. It's like the parable of the sower. It's like getting the not the parable of the sower, the talents.
Yes.
Getting the talent and putting it under and just covering it and sitting in it. That's what a lot of people do, and that's not what we should be doing. But many people do that without knowing they're doing that. But they have the tools and the power to multiply what they have and do a lot more.
All right, so we're dropping like it's hot. We've got another one here from David, our Caribbean Christian, on the subject of thank you, old habits. Thanks, Colossus. What do you consider your biggest financial challenge? Let's hear it. This is David from Stamford Hill.
Well, for me, I'd say A, because I don't know how I don't know how to I don't know how much I start with, which app I use, because I know there's so many apps I could use to start saving. Or do I use the saving account of the bank I use at the moment? There's so many questions I have, so I don't even know. I literally don't even know how much I save all the time, because I don't want to overput and then I'm putting myself in problems. That's what it is, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think it's systems again, right? Firstly, yes, you know what your expenditures are, so you know you've set that apart. You know, you want to build an emergency fund that's liquid, that's in cash. So you don't put it in other platforms or place that it's locked away. You want to make sure that this is something that's easily accessible within 3 to 6 days.
So liquid cash is cash that's accessible. It's not something that is only purely for saving, but if you need it, you can
touch it. Exactly. And that's the emergency fund. You want to get to a point where you have at least up to 3 months of your expenditure, your outgoings, as emergency funds. Then you have peace to know, okay, that's done. Then you can start going into the markets, because what you're investing is money that you don't mind losing, because the market's always up and down, right? But that's what I would say. I would say don't overdo it, don't overthink it. Start very simple. Look at your expenditure and start to put money away in a place that you know can be easily accessible, but in an high interest account, right? There's a few good accounts. I think Monzo has a great interest account. They trade in 212 that you can put your money in cash, and it grows tax free. And then once you get to that base to know that, okay, I can survive if I lose my job or anything for 3 months, then the air you breathe is different, because you know, okay, I've got some form of stability, and in the midst of me working towards that and working towards building this fund, if anything happens to me as an individual, I get sick, I'm not able to work or something, having the financial protection also gives you peace of mind to know that, okay, me, the asset working to build more, is also protected, if that makes sense. And it doesn't necessarily need to cost you much to put these things in place. Some people say, I don't have money to pay for this, but you have money to pay your phone bill.
That's right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
buy
You
those
have money
snacks
to buy
and
the
Uber Eats.
snacks, right? And every single person has 10% of disposable income. That's what I say to my clients. A client that comes and tells me, I don't have money or I can't afford to get financial protection, I'm like, everyone has 10%. 10% of your disposable income is money that you wouldn't even feel come out your pocket. The reason why you feel like it's a lot is because you don't understand the value to why you should get it, because that's money you're going to spend anyway.
That's right. That's interesting. So a lot of people want, when they hear you speak, we feel that we need to hop, skip and jump to the stage of, putting money XYZ in all these different places. However, this could be a process that could take a little bit of time, right? It will take a little bit of time, that if we get paid monthly, allocating it well, resisting certain temptations when we're using it. So it's a process. So we shouldn't be, from what I'm hearing you say, kind of overexcited to say, okay, I need to jump here in the next 2 months.
No, and that's where people get it wrong. I'm so happy you mentioned that. There's actually 5 steps to financial freedom.
Okay.
A lot of people want to be at the last step, managing wealth, because of what they see online.
That's right.
Because of lifestyle creep, as you alluded to earlier. 5 step. The first step is so simple,
Colossus had a very nice question. If you just rephrase the question again, Colossus, that you asked Ahmed during the time out.
Yeah. So what I asked basically was like, for example, when we need to take the 10% out of the money, for example, the money is left or the money we get straight away from our salary or something like that. So that's why I asked.
So no, it's not when your salary comes in straight away. Of course, it's what's left of after all your bills are paid. So after all your expenditures are paid, your essential expenditure are paid.
So that's mortgage, light, water,
everything,
including food.
What's left, 10% of that. But before you do that, you have to look at your expenditure and see which of these things am I paying for that I actually don't need, if that makes sense. And then you can take maybe that and add that to what's left and take 10% of that, because the 10% for financial protection, you shouldn't feel it come out your pocket. It should just be in the background, and that's how you continue to sustain it, because some people, they get financial protection in place and then they cancel it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You shouldn't be in that position. You shouldn't get yourself in that position.
Okay. And it's something that's, these types of things are manageable. It's working with what you actually do have.
Correct.
But like you keep repeating to us, for us to let it sink in, it's after you've taken everything away. Some people will always say, I don't have enough. But we ate that chocolate bar.
Yes.
We went to Uber Eats. We went and we bought that thing on eBay that we didn't need.
Yeah.
And we do those things every month.
Correct. And when I do this exercise with clients and I tell them your disposable income is X, they're like, what? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's just they don't see that money, because when the disposable income is there, it's let's see how it goes. They don't manage the money, so the money manages them.
All right, guys. So I hope you understood that. So that 10% is after you've done the audit. Take quality time, separate it in the evening or the morning, whenever you think better. You might have to pull all your statements out. but that's something that we should definitely do. All right, good golden nugget right there. All right, and now let's go into those 5 pillars. Just to give you guys an idea, we are gonna have a psychoanalysis coming very shortly after these 5 pillars. So I want you to prepare yourself for that. Do you have like the picture of the psychoanalysis thing? All right, I just want to show it to everyone so they can get themselves ready. Okay, the one, what's your money mindset? All right, that clear one. Okay, we're going to be going into it. That's the one. Yeah, so we're going to be going into it very shortly. All right, so just prepare yourself for that, but take a note right now of these 5 pillars, because what we come up to with when we get to the money mindset, it will show our capacity and where we lean to be able to put these 5 things into practice. So let's get this show on the road. All right.
Correct.
So let's go.
And I think the first thing you need to do, believe it or not, is literally having a plan. It's so simple. Goal setting, being positive in your mindset, understanding cash flow, money values, and enjoying what you're doing. So a lot of people, they want to I want to have money saved. I want to invest. But the first step is not that. Don't overcomplicate it. The first thing is change your mindset. Understand a plan. What do I want to achieve? Right? That's the first thing. The second thing is your estate planning. Right? Your estate planning, your plans, your personal insurance, your emergency funds. You need to work towards building some form of an emergency fund, because that's what enables you to know that if a bad day was to happen or something bad was to happen, you have some form of savings. Right?
So this is all the first pillar.
That's the second. The first thing is having a mindset. Changing your mindset. I think I've got a picture.
Yeah,
I think I just sent it to you.
Okay.
So we can put it up for everyone. And I speak to clients about this all the time.
Okay.
And I think this is important because when we're speaking about financial resilience, a lot of people don't know where to start. And because there's so much, they just freeze and don't do nothing. They don't check their bank accounts. They procrastinate. They say, I'm going to do it later, but later never comes. Right? First step is having a plan, knowing exactly what you want to achieve, being positive, enjoying what you're doing to generate income. And sometimes what some people need to do is figure out where I am right now. Is it giving me as much income as I need? Or do I need to work on my skills to get a better paying job? Or better opportunity for me to earn even more, right? So that's the first step. The second step, after you've done the first step, is build some form of emergency fund. From your disposable income, set apart a percentage of that that you can put away for savings. That's the second thing. And then as you do that, work towards getting insurance as well. Right? Disposable income, use 10% for your financial protection, your insurance. Maybe you can set apart 30% of that, of what's left, into savings. And then the rest, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. So, number 1, goal setting. Must have a clear goal. Not just, let's see what happens.
Worst thing you can do.
Ambiguity. No. Right? We're working on the brain. Some people may hear that word mindset so often that it can go over our head. Mindset, yeah, mindset, I'm positive. No, but it literally is in terms of education, in terms of how we seek after knowledge to do this part very well.
Correct.
Right? In terms of having clarity of our goals, not something ambiguous. And maybe you might not even be aware of what is actually a good goal.
Correct.
Maybe we need to learn what is a good goal, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How important is that?
And you get this by speaking to someone that's in a position to help you. When you have a conversation with an advisor, they're able to kind of show you the actions you need to take, and you have peace of mind because you know what you're working towards, if that makes sense.
All right, so fantastic. So we got it up on the screen. Yep, and then the second one is
estate planning.
Yes.
Personal insurance, emergency funds. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't have a will.
Wow.
Right? They don't have a will in place, right? And I'm not going to deep dive into it. I'm looking at the time, but that's something else that you need to understand. Why do I need to get a will in place? Why do I need to have life insurance in place? My emergency funds, working towards saving that. Once you have a buffer, you also want to start paying off bad debt. Some people, they drive cars, right, that's not theirs.
Yeah.
I
hear that.
And the interest on that is a lot more than what it should be, because they bought it because someone else had it.
Yeah, it looked good.
It looked good. So paying off bad debt, if there's credit cards, work towards using your emergency funds or savings that you have to pay off bad debt, because what happens is it gives you more cash flow.
Yeah.
It gives you more money. And then when you have more money, when you have an emergency fund, then you can start putting a bit more into the markets now.
Absolutely.
Because that's money that you don't want to touch.
Can I just go back on what you said about the car?
Yeah.
The vehicle. All right, because everybody we see things with our eyes. Even food, it's all about what we see, right? And this whole thing about cars, I'm glad I learned about this as well, because a car takes from A to B. We want to look good, we want to be comfortable, but like you said, that's usually one of the biggest expenses that we have. And one of the things, I actually had this in a business meeting. They said to me like this, Rob, like, you know what? You don't have to get the latest car. You don't have to. Literally, you can even buy a car outright, right? So you don't have that overhead every month according to what's going on, and you'll be okay. You
Correct.
don't, you know what I mean? So that sometimes to keep up with the Joneses, and we don't say we fall into that bracket, but we actually do, especially when it comes to cars.
Correct.
And the interest is crazy.
Correct.
It's the Ghanaian side of me. Everyone knows the breakfast show. I'm a deal hunter. I'm very crazy. I start looking at the numbers. I start looking at these details and everything like that. And I'm seeing how much is interest. And I ask, how much is it over the term? So I've like paid for the car twice.
Yeah.
So this is a big one that we all fall into.
And you elude that once you have a goal that you set, which is the base, the foundation. You know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Mm-hmm. So for example, even clothes, you're like, why do I need to buy clothes? Like, let me save that, let me invest that. But people do that because there's no plan, and sometimes people do that because there is a plan, because they're using 30% or 40% of their disposable income to treat themselves.
That's the joy in the plan.
Correct.
It's not just about just lacking or just forever denying yourself.
100%.
There's actually a bit of joy in there.
Correct. So you can go on that holiday because you've rewarded yourself, but because you've done other things as well. And what you want to also start doing is investing for passive income, because money sitting in the bank account is not making you more money as it should. You want to put it into the markets. I saw a video of, we know about Donald Trump, and there was a video of his son before the war. He bought 10,000 barrels of oil. Right? I'm not sure if that was inside information or inside trading, but now it's worth 80 times more. Wow. If that makes sense. But if that money was just sitting in the bank, it doesn't make you more money. And then once you have that system in place, then you can just continue oiling that machine. But remember, these are all the steps, right? Some people just say, I need to invest, but they don't have an emergency fund. They don't have insurance.
So that means their structure has holes in it.
Correct.
So like, because they haven't done these steps in the proper order, if something happens while they're doing step number 4, something will crumble. They'll have to take from somewhere else to satisfy the other area.
Correct. And that's the 5 steps. And that's what every single person, should look to and see where I am. What do I need to do? And it gives you peace, because now you're looking at a plan rather than not looking at nothing. So, yeah.
Beautiful. I love that. All right, guys. Was that helpful to you? Let us know in the live chat. We got a comment here from Lady Jazz, and she says, thanks for the tip. My biggest problem is that when I save, I always focus on putting the biggest amount in my account. But I should consider putting a small amount into savings, which will eventually become a large amount. Yeah, but obviously that amount has to be from the disposable amount, right? The disposable amount.
Correct.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So those are the five pillars to success. We will put it in our breakfast show broadcast. Actually, I'll put it in the breakfast show broadcast right now. Okay, seeing as we're on the subject. So if you're not in the breakfast show broadcast, that's it on your screen right now. Please, Colossus, what is the breakfast show broadcast?
At BFS Broadcast. At BFS Broadcast.
All right, that's it. Have the Telegram app and just search at BFS Broadcast, where we've got all our little tidbits and things that we use on the show. You can scroll up and see about, the intermittent fasting and all kinds of things like that to help add value to you. So now I know you're all paying very close attention to everything that is being said, but let's find out about ourselves now. We're going to go into a psychoanalysis. I don't know what it is about that word. It just makes me act different. Psychoanalysis. We're going to find out about ourselves. God always talks about the intention of the heart. And sometimes we have the right intentions in our mind, but our hearts can misguide us. So we're going to post you a series of questions on the screen. If you're listening on DAB, you're going to be listening. If you're looking through libertyradio.co.uk, this is going to be very important. We're not going to show this one yet. Not yet. It's the other one. Yep. All right. It's the first one we showed before, yeah. We're going to find out what we kind of lean into. We're going to find out what we lean into right now. So I'm going to literally put this on the screen, and we're going to ask you a series of questions. We've got 8 questions that we're going to ask you, and obviously we're going to get Ahmed to speak on it as well. Okay, so pay close attention. Look at your screen. Have a look at that. And it says on the screen, That's blah, 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 blah. What's your money mindset? So we're going to have A, B, C, or D answers for each question. And how you need to do it. Get ready to answer the 8 qualifying questions. Choose one of the letters. Keep a tally of your chosen letters. And then we'll count which letter you picked the most. So the letter you picked the most is the one that you lean more towards at the end. Okay, guys, I hope you're ready for this. If you need to, you can put your letter in the live chat. That way you can kind of collect it, because maybe you don't have a pen and paper to hand, and then you can just kind of count afterwards. All right, let's switch it up. Let's get in there with question number 1, please. All right. So question number 1 goes like this. We can disappear. Nice one, mate. So when you think about I'm going to do mine as well right here. When you think about your finances, what do you feel most often? A, stressed, so I'd rather not think about it. B, hopeful, I just need a bigger breakthrough. C, pressured to keep up appearances. Or D, alert and cautious. All right, so when you think about your finances, what do you feel most? A, stressed, so I'd rather not think about it. B, hopeful, I just need a bigger breakthrough. C, pressured to keep up appearances. Or D, alert and cautious. Yeah, cortisol levels can be high sometimes. All right, guys. So put your answer now. A, B, C, or D. Let's go to question number 2. Number 2. When unexpected expenses hit, what is your usual response? A, panic, then avoid checking things properly. B, tell myself things will work out somehow. C, manage it without anyone noticing I'm under pressure. D, calculate and adjust everything immediately. All right, when unexpected expenses hit, what is your usual response? A, I'll repeat again. A, panic, then avoid checking things properly. B, tell myself things will work out somehow. C, manage it without anyone noticing I'm under pressure. Or D, calculate and adjust everything immediately. All right, guys, send your answers through now. Record them. All right, nice one, Sarah. Nice one, Chanel. All right, let's keep it going. All right, let's go to the next question. Number 3, which statement sounds most like you? A, I delay opening bills, emails, or bank messages. B, one big opportunity will change everything. C, that person's very hopeful. C, I don't like looking like I'm struggling financially. D, I like to know exactly where my money is going. All right, guys, we have to answer honestly. Which statement sounds more like you? I'll repeat one more time. I delay opening bills, emails, or bank messages. B, one big opportunity will change everything. Yes, by faith I am. C, I don't like looking like I'm struggling financially. Or D, I like to know exactly where my money is going. All right, guys, put your answers there right now. Let's go to the next one, number 4. Okay, so the next one goes like this. When you receive extra money, what are you most likely to do? A, spend some first, then think later. B, dream about what this could become. C, use it to feel secure or look established. D, save it or allocate it carefully. I repeat, when you receive extra money, what are you most likely to do? A, spend some first, then think later. B, dream about what this could become. C, use it to feel secure or look established. Or D, save it or allocate it carefully. A, B, C, or D. 4A, 4B, 4C. 4A, 4B, 4C, or 4D. That is the question. Let's go for number 5. What is your biggest weakness with money? What is your biggest weakness with money? Avoidance. So you don't want to look at it. You don't want to look if anything goes wrong. You're avoiding it. I don't want to deal with it. I just want, when my paycheck comes, I just want to do what I need to do. B, wishful thinking. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to get a lot of money. We're going to be great. We're going to be great. We're going to be just great. C, image pressure. It's like, man, I don't have enough, but I gotta get those next pair of trainers. I gotta get that next car. All right, and D, worry and overthinking. What is your biggest weakness with money? A, avoidance. B, wishful thinking. C, image pressure. Or D, worry and overthink. Now remember, this is your biggest weakness. All right, your biggest weakness. All right, that's question 5. So 5A, 5B, 5C, or 5D. Let's go for number 6. Question 6. Want to do this one, mate?
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Which thoughts sounds most like your inner money voice? Wow. A, I don't want to deal with this right now. B, once I earn more, everything will fall into place. C, I can't let people think I'm falling behind. Or D, I need to be careful. Anything could happen. So I'll say that again. A, I don't want to deal with this right now. B, once I earn more, everything will fall into place. C, I can't let people think I'm falling behind. Or D, I need to be careful. Anything could happen.
All right, so 6A, 6B, 6C, or 6D. That is the question. 2 more questions to go. Go for number 7, Ahmed.
What best describes your ideal financial life? What best describes your ideal financial life? Is it A, peace, not feeling afraid of money anymore? B, abundance, finally having enough to do what I want? C, respect, looking stable and successful? Or D, security, known and protected and prepared? Okay, so what best describes your ideal financial life? Peace for A, B for abundance, C, respect, or D, security?
That's interesting. Oh, that's a tough
And
one.
is this the last one?
Yeah.
When it comes to Klarna, or ClearPay, which sounds most like you? Is it A, I use them because I don't want to face the full cost right now? B, I use them thinking future me will sort it out. Wow. Future you must be stressed. C, I use them to get things I feel I should have now. Or D, I avoid them unless I've planned the repayments.
Yeah, because I think that one, people use it like a normal line of credit.
Yeah, correct.
But you know what? Because I'm thinking about like these kind of things. I think they're pretty cool because especially when there's no interest.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those?
I think it's about planning, isn't it? It's about planning ahead. If you've planned for it and you've put a system in place, to mitigate whatever might happen, then good. If you're going blindly, then it's a red flag.
Yeah. All right, guys. So now let's go into it. Let's count the results. What did you get more of? So let me see. Should I have 8? Okay. All right. So what did you get more of? I got quite a few. I got D's. I got 1 C and 1 B. So yeah. So this is going to be quite a mixture. I would have loved to have seen your one.
Oh yeah, I should.
I know.
I didn't even realize.
It's okay. It's okay. So I'm seeing lots of people taking part here in the live chat. Very, very good. All right. So count. What did you get the most of? Let's see that last page and let's see what the results actually mean. If you do have some that are close to each other, that means you kind of veer between, a few of them. All right. So let's have a look at these results. The results are in. Check this out. If you got mostly A's, you're a money avoider. Money feels stressful. You may avoid looking at it. Work on small, regular check-ins. Simple tracking. Would you agree?
Correct. Yeah.
For the money avoider.
Yeah.
He likes that one. If you got mostly B's, money dreamer, hopeful, visionary, may rely on breakthrough, not structure. Work on systems, budgets, and weekly actions. What are your thoughts?
Correct. Because I was looking at the money dreamer. Sometimes it can catch you off guard. So it's important to have systems in place.
Yeah.
And weekly actions, because they might be things that you've done from 3 weeks ago that you say, I'm going to do this now, but you've not actioned it. So
yeah, beautiful. If you got mostly C's, money image holder, pressure to look okay, choices shaped by image or comparison, work on honest numbers and values-based spending. I think everybody has a little bit of that, isn't that whole image holder? Some more than others. What do you think?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think another thing that needs to be added to that is focus on you. Don't look at what others are doing, because that brings pressure that you don't need. I'd say
it's tough, this day and age is tough.
it's not easy.
If because of social media, if you're doing well, everyone knows about it. If you're doing bad, everyone's on it. You want everyone to assume that everything's going well, but life isn't always going to be going well.
Correct.
Last one is D, the money guardian. Careful and prepared can tip into anxiety and control. Work on keep wisdom, reduce fear, and plan calmly.
Wisdom is a key thing, because of course it's important to have control of your money. I would say I'll lean into D as well. But it's also being calm and asking God for wisdom. I genuinely believe that, because that's how you're able to administrate a lot better. I'd say.
And you know what, what you said earlier about having that little piece of your budget to have happiness.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the guardians, like, we can be so uptight, and especially if you've got a family, you could be dragging your family through the desert. But life is,
Wow, that's true.
Without,
They're like, what am I in this for?
I'm saying.
Choose this.
But when it says wisdom as well, so to have some enjoyment on the journey, control, depending obviously what the financial state is, but there has to be a little bit of enjoyment.
Yeah, no, for sure. You have to reward yourself, because then you can go again. Sometimes it's either two extremes. There has to be a balance. So yeah. Can
we find that last picture with the graphics of the people? All right, guys. So look, I hope this has helped you to know what you're inclined more to. If you want to share with us here in the live chat, let us know what you are. Mostly D's from Diana and Bullring. Okay. Sarah, she got 5 D's and 3 B's. Interesting. Yeah, I see Sarah's been very hopeful. She's always optimistic. Even just the way she talks always enlivens our spirits. Okay, on the show. Yeah. And we've got mostly D's from mostly D's. Yep. Okay, nice one, guys. This is good. Chanel got I got mostly D's and 2 B's. So we got quite a few people who are more guardians. But I think this is important. That thing about if you have that structure, if you have that discipline, that you can put room for enjoyment.
It's good you're saying that, because some people are very hard on themselves. You have to have the balance, right? You also need to enjoy, because the thing is, if you don't enjoy, you relapse and just go and just spend everything.
It's like a drug addict who goes cold turkey. You're like, no, I'm good, I'm clean. I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. I'm feeling itchy. But like, if you get just a little bit of like a little sweet here and there. You keep complexion on your skin. You still look colorful. Life is still colorful.
Yeah.
And later on, you climatize.
Correct.
Oh, it's good. Look, Ahmed, it's been great having you on the show today. You've been absolutely awesome. If anyone would like to look for you, know more from you, where can they find you, dude?
So you can find me on Instagram. It's AIB_protect. AIB_protect. Or on LinkedIn, which I'm mostly on as well, is Ahmed IB. So AHMED IB.
All right, we're going to put his details in our Breakfast Show broadcast. If you want to have a chat with him, if you want to go through some things with you, he'll give you some great ideas. He really helped me as well to put some things in order. And he's that kind of person in this field that you keep with you for the rest of your life, So we pray for him to have good health. So definitely join the Breakfast Show broadcast, or you could send me an email, actually broadcast first, at BFS Broadcast, on Telegram. Just send me a message and just say, if you enter that, you will have Ahmed's details. We'll post it in there, and also these little segments. You can test it and try it out on your family. Also, you can send me an email to producer@libertyradio.co.uk. It just went underneath there. Producer@libertyradio.co.uk. You could just send me an email, say, Robert, I don't like what you spoke about today. Or, you know what, Robert, that was really true. That's really true. You've really cleaned my heart. Or maybe it might be like, you know what? Yeah, man, Ahmed is the man. And Colossus, his cheekbones that look bronze and beautiful. I just inhale them every morning. Colossus. Actually, I spent too much time on that one. But you get my point. So producer@libertyradio.co.uk. You can send us an email or just message me in the Breakfast Show broadcast. It'd be great to hear from you. Other than that, Ahmed, you've been awesome.
That went so quick. It was really great being here.
Yeah, it was so good. Colossus, you're great.
Thank you. Now we need to have part 2.
We need to have part 2, isn't it? I think so. We need to get part 2 ready. We'll have a conversation and see what that's like and let you know in the broadcast. And besides that, we're going to have Bishop Allen joining us, passing a word here on Liberty Radio, because Liberty Radio, this platform does not sleep. So anytime you tune in, you're going to get some good music, good vibes, good messages, all that kind of good stuff for you to have a spring in your step, to get elevated and knowledgeified, if that is such a word, to do what you got to do. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, same breakfast show time, 7:30 a.m., same breakfast show channel, libertyradio.co.uk. Until then, ciao for now. Oh, this one? Yep, there we are. Bye. You're awesome. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of the program. We have a lot more episodes covering a lot more themes on The Breakfast Show. And guess what? Your experience can be even deeper and more interactive, because we are live weekdays from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on libertyradio.co.uk. On that Liberty Radio platform, we have a whole host of other inspirational material. As well as that, we have our breakfast show in the mornings. Check it out. There's a live chat, there's a video feed, and you can get up to date on all the breakfast show antics and fun, vim, excitement, and all that kind of crazy stuff that we love to enjoy. This is Robbie here, Robust Presenter, and I hope to see you live and enjoy the next one.